If you're not new to the gacha game experience, you know that usually the main character is always underwhelming. Well, you're in for a surprise, because Rover, the main character in Wuthering Waves, is actually a pretty good character. Rover is a very solid unit and probably the best option for free-to-play players to invest in at the very beginning of the game. In this video, we will cover their whole kit, best echoes, weapons, teams, and how to play. Spectral Rover is a 5-star sword user that has a very unique time-stopping and slowing mechanic. Not only they're the most cool-looking main characters out there, but they're the type of character that can fit in basically any team. Their quick swapping style makes them a very good sub DPS overall. Please note that Rover will have different attributes throughout our journey in the game. In this video, we are talking about their Spectral version, but they also have a Havoc version that I plan to cover in the future. Rover's basic attack is a sequence of 4 attacks that deal spectral damage. Apart from this, they have 2 special options of combo that links to their forte circuit. The first one is, after the 3rd attack of their normal combo, you wait for a very short delay and then hit basic attack 2 more times. This will cause Rover to perform Resonance and Aftertune one after the other. Resonance at the 4th attack and Aftertune at the 5th attack. Don't let the names confuse you, they are basically the same thing. You just have to press them quickly. If you get this right, you'll feel 50 points of your forte circuit bar, which is half of it. The other option to perform Resonance and Aftertune is to do heavy attack, wait for a short delay, and then click basic attack 2 times. This option is slightly easier to get the timing right. This combo will also give you 50 points on your forte circuit bar. The Resonance skill has a short 6 seconds cooldown and it has 2 different versions. The first one is when your forte bar is empty. This is a very basic and short skill that almost looks like another basic attack. In short, you don't want to use it when your forte is empty. The second version is when you have at least 50 points of your forte circuit bar energy, which by the way can hold up to 100. Using your skill in this state will consume 50 points to make the Resonance skill become Resonating Spin, causing more spectral damage than its normal version. You only want to use your Resonance skill when you have at least 50 points or half the bar full. Using your basic attack right after the enhanced version of the skill will cause Resonating Echoes, causing even more spectral damage. Small recap just to make sure we're on the same page here. Skill with forte bar empty, simple, don't use it. Skill with at least 50 points of forte energy, Spinning Blade, more damage, use it. Basic attack after using skill with at least 50 points of forte energy, even more damage. The best version. Are we good? Okay, to fill up the forte circuit energy, your options are: firstly and foremost, the Resonance and Hypertune combos we already covered. They are the fastest way, especially the ones starting from a heavy attack followed by 2 basic attacks. The other options are just hitting it normally with basic attack, heavy attack, mid-air attack, and even intro skill. Casting Resonance skill and Resonance Liberation will not give you forte circuit energy. Okay, let's keep going. Rover Resonance Liberation Echoing Your Orchestra is a damage dealing ability that will also stop time for a very brief period. The cooldown is 20 seconds and it costs 125 energy. Echoing Your Orchestra is very useful for situations where you need breathing space in a fight. It allows you to reposition or dodge attacks if you're quick. And it also deals a good amount of damage. The intro skill is just a straight up spectral damage dealing attack. The outro skill though is very cool and useful as well. Rover will generate an area of stasis around the next character to enter the field for 3 seconds. Any nearby enemies will become very slow and you can take advantage of this to make your rotations more smooth, reposition or dodge attacks. Rover's first inherent skill increases the damage dealt by Resonating Echoes, which is the best version of the Resonance skill, by a big 60%. The second inherent skill gives Rover 15% attack for 5 seconds after casting Resonance. The stat bonuses will give Rover 12% of spectral damage bonus and 12% of attack increase when maxed out. Rover's kit is interesting because their damage are separated between all of their skills and all of them are important, so the order to prioritize can be controversial. I'd recommend to start with the inherent skills, followed by the basic attack and forte circuit, leaving the Resonance Liberation and skill for later, and intro and stat bonuses for last. But you can change this order and it will still work, just make sure to leave the intro skill for last. Rover sequences are obtainable by just progressing in the game, so you won't need to gamble for this. For sequence 1, Rover's crit rate will increase by 15% for 7 seconds when casting the resonance skill in either of its forms. This is a good one since there's no cooldown, so you can basically consider this buff as a 100% uptime one. For sequence 2, Rover will get 20% spectral damage bonus. For sequence 3, you will get 20% energy regen buff, which makes the rotation even more fluid to perform. Sequence 4 is very interesting because it turns Rover into a healer, allowing to use them in a very different role than usual. Every time you use your Resonance Liberation, Rover will continuously heal HP for all team members based on their attack every second for 5 seconds. We will talk more about Healer Rover when we get to the Echo Set portion of the video. Sequence 5 gives Rover a big 40% Resonance Liberation damage bonus. And Sequence 6 gives Rover the ability to shred enemies' Spectral Res by 10% when they use their Resonance skill in either of its forms. This lasts 20 seconds, so you can also assume a 100% uptime. This sequence will age like wine as soon as we get more spectral DPSs and sub DPSs in the future. For Rover's Echo sets, you have two options, as a damage dealer or as a support. Let's start with his DPS or sub DPS role. If you want Rover to do damage, the best Echo set is the Celestial Light. Rover makes really good use of the Sonata effect here and is by far the best one. This is what you should aim to use as an endgame goal, but if in the beginning you're struggling to get all the 5 pieces, mixing 2 pieces of Lingering Tunes or Moonlit Clouds and 2 pieces of Celestial Lights is okay, until you reach a union level where you can get better choices. Rover uses a 4-3-3-1-1 Echo setup. For the 4 cost Echo, you should go for crit damage or crit rate, whatever makes your ratio better. For the 3 cost Echoes, you should ideally go for spectral damage on both of them. Using attack percent and spectral damage or double attack percent also works, but consider what other sources of buffs you're getting in your team to make the best decision here. For example, if you have supports equipped with the 5-piece Moonlight Cloud set, which gives a lot of attack percentage already, you'll use double spectral damage better. Varina's and Baizi's buffs are also to be considered. In general, double spectral damage is the way to go, but using other options until you get those pieces will also work well. For the 1 cost Echoes, go for attack percent. For the main Echo slot, your best choice is the Morning Aches. I don't know if that's how you say it, but you get what I'm saying. Apart from the Echo skill doing good spectral damage itself, it also buffs your spectral damage and Resonance Liberation damage for 15 seconds. Perfect for Rover's rotation. All other options fall short compared to this one, but having the complete 5-piece Celestial Light set is more important than the main Echo slot. For the subsets, you want to focus on crit rate and crit damage first and foremost, balancing that 1-to-2 ratio depending on your weapon and 4-cost Echo main stat. Attack percent and skill damage subsets are also good. Liberation damage is okay, but skill damage is better because it's the main source of Rover's damage. Now let's talk about Rover as a support unit. If you have Rover Sequence 4 already, you can use them as a healer. For that, you will want to go for either the Rejuvenating Glow 5-piece set, which will increase the heal Rover provides and also buff allies' attacks, or for the Moonlight Cloud 5-piece set, which will not give you the healing bonus, but will make you use the Resonance Liberation faster to proc those heals, while at the same time giving a bigger attack buff for the team. Here you can use crit rate or crit damage for your 4-cost Echo to still deal some damage while giving support, or use attack percent if you want to heal the most amount possible, but you will sacrifice a lot of damage. And for the 3-cost Echoes, you should go for double attack since your heal scales off attack. For the 1-cost Echoes, go for attack percentage as well. For the main Echo slot, you can use the Impermanence Heron if you're running the Moonlit Cloud set, or any of the available options if you're running the Rejuvenating Glow set. The weapon selection we get at the beginning of the game is very limited, but Rover has some good options to choose from. First, let's talk about Rover in the DPS or sub DPS role. The best one by far is the 5-star standard banner weapon Emerald of Genesis, which you can get for free when you reach Union level 45 by the way. This will give you a good amount of crit rate, energy regen, and attack. For the 4-star options, you can go for the Commando of Conviction, which you can claim on the box we got for free as a pre-register reward, or another great option is the Battle Pass Sword Looming Gloss. However, these will only give you attack percent, so keep in mind you have to grind harder for Echo crit stats if you're using them. The gacha weapon Luna Cutter is also a good one. The craftable weapon Sword number 18 is okay, but all other options I presented before are better. The 3-star weapon Sword of Night is your budget option if you still don't have any of the other ones. For Rover as a support unit, you can use energy regen weapons to help you use your Resonance Liberation more frequently. So that includes the 4-star weapon Scale Slasher and the 3-star weapon Sword of Voyager. Rover is used better as a sub DPS since they can do a very quick rotation with good scale and damage, while making the next Resonator have some comfort at the same time. They can also be used as a main DPS with more field time, especially at the beginning of the game if you're still missing units to play. When playing Rover, you will want to build your Forte Circuit energy by doing the Resonance and Hyper 2 combos we talked about, followed by Resonance skill until you build enough Concerto energy to leave the field. That usually takes 2 rotations that can take many different forms. Try to focus on the combo version that uses heavy attack plus 2 basic attacks to proc Resonance and Hypertune to beat half of the Forte bar since it's the quickest and easiest one. You can insert the heavy attack and 2 basic attack combo in the middle of the normal attack combo, so it can look a little bit like this. 2 normal attack, heavy attack plus 2 normal attacks to proc Resonance and Hypertune, Resonance skill and basic attack, and repeat. Once you have enough Concerto energy, you can switch to the next Resonator and make sure you're close to the enemies so they can be slowed down. The Resonance Liberation is better used at the beginning of the rotation if possible, since using it before the outro skill is overkill on the slowing. Or you can save it for situations where you need a quick time stop to run, or do another Resonance and Hypertune combo more comfortably. If you're running Morning 8s as the main Echo slot, be sure to use the Echo skill before starting the rotation to make good use of the Resonance Liberation and Spectral damage bonus. Rover can be used in so many variety of teams. Considering you understand the value they bring to the rotations, you can basically fit them in any team that already has a DPS and a support. Pairing Rover with another sub DPS that has quick rotations feels really good though. A good example of this is Sanhua. Put Sanhua and Rover together with any support as Verena, Jianshin, Baizi or Taochi and you have a great team. Rover can also make a good use of Yangyang's and Jianshin's crowd control. So another nice team would be Rover, Yangyang and any support. If you're planning on staying more on the field like a main DPS, you can pair Rover with Mortefi and any healer or shielder. If you're pairing Rover with Verena, any DPS can come here, such as Yangwu and Core, etc. You get the drift. I believe Spectral Rover will be a valuable sub DPS once our first Spectral DPS arrives in the game, so let's see how that will go. If you're planning on using Rover as a support unit, they basically replace the role of Verena, Jianshin, Baizi or Taochi on the team. Using 2 defensive units in this game is not a good idea, so pair them with 2 other sub DPSs or supports like Mortefi and you're good to go. That's it for Spectral Rover's guide. Let me know in the comments if you plan on building them and what team are you planning to run. Thank you and I'll see you in the next one.